the beat, boy.
Yeah. Cause he wanna life. Headlights, I've been whipping midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, tryna get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Headlights, I've been whipping midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, tryna get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat, man. Let me know if y'all can hear me. It has been a difficult day. Believe it or not, right before this show, my lady, you know what I'm saying, had to do my hair real quick. And yeah, things have been thrown off. Last week, your boy had tonsillitis, so I couldn't do a show at all. Could barely talk, could barely eat. It was tough, man. Tough out in these streets. But if y'all can do me a favor and put a thumbs up in the chat, throw some flames or something like that, let me know if y'all can hear me. That'd be all good. I know E2 Blus is battling something right now as well, so I'll leave it open for him to join. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today. John Herndon might be joining. I know I sent the email to him a couple times. John is popping in right now. So we have a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to discuss because I didn't get a chance to really discuss how I felt about the draft. And, so the panel will talk about that as well. We'll talk about the schedule releasing. We're going to talk about NCAA because the trailer popped out today. So, that I'm really, really excited about that. Really excited about that. And we're gonna talk about this boxing event that's gonna happen tomorrow, and I'm gonna live stream the fight. But we got John Herndon in the building. What's going on, John?
What's
How you
up,
doing,
brother? How you feeling? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, brother.
Okay.
Sound good too, man. Sound good.
Yeah, I'm down in the studio tonight, even though the virtual says different. Look like I'm in a boxing gym.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because look, we're gonna talk a little bit of boxing today. Actually, I was just telling everybody that.
For sure.
Yeah, so today, as the agenda we talk about, we're gonna talk about our draft, our post thoughts on the draft. Like, I didn't get a chance to really react to it like as a whole on my channel. I wanted to do it on a Friday night, but things happened. I was traveling back, then the week after got sick. So, life happens, right?
For sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about. Absolutely. We're going to talk about the schedule release. And then I don't know if we talked about video games. You got to play NCAA football, right?
Nah, I used to play video games. It's too addictive for me. Like, seriously, I will devote an entire weekend. I have enough vices between like comics, animation, movies, books, drawing, sports. I love video games, but they would like consume me. But a lot of my brothers, they play video games. They like straight video games. And Sharif is a video game head. My little brother D is a video game head. My brother Jerry is a video game. They're all video game heads. I haven't played video games in like 10 years. For real.
I definitely understand it, bro. I definitely understand it.
But I keep up with the trailers. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, so look, so when we talk in the background, we're gonna have the trailer in the background talking as we talk about it. But let's get into our draft post thoughts or whatever, right? So the Cowboys drafted. It was one of those gut wrenching drafts, man. So I just want to kind of get your thoughts on how you felt about the draft as a whole, and do you think that it made us a better football team?
I think it made them a better football team. Absolutely. I think they came away with at least 3 starters. I love the draft overall. The only thing that I have a problem with is them not selecting a running back, which they could have selected one in the 3rd round. But I do like the kid that is the linebacker that's from Notre Dame. I agree with you. Yeah. I think he's fantastic. There was rumors. I think it was confirmed. They had an opportunity to move back in the 3rd round and also pick up a 4th. I wish they would have did that, but they decided not to. They stuck with their board of 3 offensive linemen. Man, you talked about offensive linemen way before the draft. I was a little surprised they went with 3, but I was happy that they went with 3. I think BB is going to be a starter for them. I think Guyton is going to be a starter for them, and I think the linebacker is going to be a starter for them. So I think they came away with 3 starters, maybe even potentially 4 with Justin, the nose tackle from Auburn that was late. Um, I love the draft. I think it was a really good draft. I don't usually grade drafts until 3 years, but I think they came away with some nice quality football players, and also the defensive lineman, who I think is going to be in the rotation. The kid they picked in the second round, very very
Yeah,
good.
I'm going to ask you about Marshawn Nealon.
I
So,
like Marshall.
yeah. So let me see if I can share this screen real fast because we'll go over some of the draft picks.
Hell, I love the cornerback they picked up too. Yeah, I love Marshawn Leader. I love Cooper BB. I really had no problems with any of the players that they picked. I just wish they would have came away with a running back, but they didn't.
Yeah,
Um, but overall, they got a lot of guys who are good football players. I think Marshawn Leland is a nice defensive end. I know a lot of people are going to look at his pass rushing numbers, but if they go back and look at it, he used to get triple team a lot. But I think he's a major upgrade compared to Dorrance Armstrong or Fowler. I don't think he's the pass rusher Fowler is right now, but I think he can turn into one.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. So
yeah,
what do you think this means for Sam Williams on this roster? Because you got some guys that can kind of squeeze some life either into him or out of him because they got our guy last year too who they tried to make a 3 technique, and I don't know if they're going to continue to make him that.
you talking
Come,
about what's that kid Fiocco?
yeah, Fiocco, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
uh I think with Zimmerman may make him 3 inside and put him outside. I don't think it has anything to do with Sam Wins because honestly, I think it has more to do with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah,
Not
understood.
this
Yeah,
year, but I think coming. But I don't think it has anything to do with Sam. I think they're going to keep Sam. It's his 3rd year. You still have him on a rookie deal. He has talent. I think Zimmerman is going to get the best out of him. But I just think it's just adding another player and another younger player. I mean, it's
yeah,
more so him replacing because they replaced Armstrong and Fowler. So, which honestly, I wanted them to trade Armstrong last year after coming off the season that he came off of. So I think it's just adding another young player. They are definitely going young. I don't see them
I love it. I love
going
it.
any
I
other
love it.
way.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
yeah, I love this.
Yeah. So there was something that I was going to ask you, bro. As far as, do you think they should have gotten aggressive, although they got their picks with BB and with Maris? Do you think they
Mhm.
should have gotten aggressive the next day and came back into the fourth with the future pick and gotten a running back?
I normally I'm not a person that trade, but I thought that. I was like, it would probably cost them a third, but I this is me. I love Trey Benson. And he was there and I thought he was going to be their guy, but I did think they should have came back because there were other running backs that I thought was also quality they could have gotten in the fourth. And they just didn't do that. They seem like they're okay with I don't want to say they're okay with the guys in the room because it's too early, but they didn't seem to look at running back like the way I think we've looked at running back. Not this year, and they sure didn't do it last year. And I think
Yeah,
Benson would help them out a lot. Even if they wouldn't have got him, it was just other quality backs, and it just felt like last year again. And I was just like, okay, are we going to draft any running? I mean, I know they
yeah.
picked up an undrafted kid, but I really like Trey Benson.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know. Look, that undrafted kid. I did a video and it has done almost 50,000 views. And I think people are so enamored by the fact that the kid ran a 4.3. That kid ain't making the roster, yo. He not making the
Yeah, and
roster.
see, but you know what? I don't
Yeah,
care about I don't care about combine times. That don't mean anything to me. It's like, are you football fast? I don't I think he's a camp body. Um I won't say he won't make the roster only in this sense. Somebody could get hurt. And maybe he makes it that way. But I think you're saying if everything is even, he's not. And I agree with you. I don't see who he would replace. Because they seem like they like Deuce. They like Rico, and they seem to like Zeke. And I think
And also Royce Freeman too. Like Royce Freeman is a really solid back. I really think that Deuce is gonna fight for touches. If Deuce, yeah, he gonna fight for touches, bro. Cause
I'm not saying he isn't. I think he
yeah,
does because me and you talked about it. I think he actually can help the team. I just don't know if we have the play style to help him as far as like his ability with screens. I like Snoop a lot. A lot of other people don't. I like him. He's a big downhill running back. I don't know if he's going to get a fair shot though. I don't know if he's
yeah,
going to get a fair shot to actually get a chance to actually, play. They seem like they
probably
either
not. Probably
was,
not.
yeah, they look like it appeared to me that it was either Brooks or Zeke. That was
Yeah.
it. They
And
just said,
I think that they're making a mistake with the whole like anybody can play. I don't think look, I'm not saying that they're saying that anybody can play running back. It's not what I'm saying at all.
but they
I
actually kind of saying that though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember when they got rid of before the Cooper trade? I mean, before the Amari Cooper trade, they just had all these wide receivers, and it was
Yep.
just like a bunch of no disrespect, a bunch of three guys, and it was just kind of like, oh, they'll get, and then you found out
They
you don't
never
have,
learn, John. They never
yeah,
learn when it comes to this. Like you can't just take a position that requires skill and
mm-hmm.
say anybody can do it. So before we do anything else, man, I want to say shout out to my members out there because they are members and they pay the bills. Shout out to my guy Jay Money. What's going on? Salute, brother. Salute to the Miss Joe Gonzalez. How you doing? Hopefully E2 can join later on. And those are all the members that I have up right now that have commented. If you're a member and you haven't commented, then feel free to comment. This is a wide open channel right here. So, John, was there any undrafted free agents that really stood out to you? Because we know the undrafted free agents pool is normally what Dallas likes to do, but they were a little light this year. So, I want to hear your
Yeah,
thoughts.
there's a tight end. His last name is Ford. I forgot his full name.
Brevin.
Oh my lord. I really, really like him. I think he's a left tackle posing as a tight end, devastating blocker. He probably won no good combine numbers. Big 6'7" kid. I think he's 265. He would definitely help the running game. He could help the red zone. I was very, very impressed with him. There was also two safeties that we picked up who I enjoy a lot. I think they undrafted class wasn't as strong as it used to be, but I do think they got at least three football players to me that stand out that I really, really like.
Yeah,
I think this was that kid.
Brevin Spanford from Minnesota is who you're talking about. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he's nasty, man. He is nasty. He is nasty. The tight end room is going to be interesting because
yeah, I'm glad you say that.
how many can you keep? I don't know.
I don't think you're gonna keep. I don't think you're gonna keep a lot. I think you're gonna probably keep 3, if that. So I think it's gonna get very interesting
True, but
because
as
we
good
have too
as
many
it is,
running backs. We got too many running backs, and we got a fullback that's going. So
okay.
you got
Well, here,
to.
what about if you do this? What about if you go short at wide receiver?
They could do that. They could go short at wide receiver. I've been thinking they'll go short at wide receiver, but yeah, tight end. You still gotta because look, like Deuce. Deuce is the wild card in my opinion.
Okay.
Deuce is the wild card because Deuce can do specials, but is that enough to keep him on the roster? Him doing backup return or with the new return rules, like is it worth him having a roster spot?
Well,
Like think about
a lot of people like the wide receiver for that, the one that we got in the 6th round.
you
Ryan.
talking about Ryan
He's played
Flournoy?
special. Yeah, he's played special teams in college.
Yeah, if you watch him too, he has a lot of they throw him a lot of screens and stuff like that.
Mhm.
He does a lot of yak things.
Yeah, he's more gimmicky right now. He don't have the most advanced route tree. So when they drafted him, I thought that they probably was looking at him as far as that.
I don't think he's
Um,
gonna make. I don't think he's gonna make the team. I think he'll probably be practice squad, in my opinion. I
really?
don't think. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I'll say right now, I'll wait. I'm gonna
yeah.
wait because
The
there's
the
some
reason,
guys who are starters that I'm not as locked in on as other people. Like there's
yeah.
some people that I'm more like push this dude off the roster.
Well, you got to look at it this way, right? Brandon Cooks is gonna make the roster. CeeDee Lamb's gonna make the roster. Jalen Tolbert's gonna make the roster.
Yeah, he can get off the roster for me.
And then you got to look at it this way. Somebody got to beat out Brooks, and I think Brooks is better than Jalen Tolbert, in my opinion.
I'm fine with Brooks. Tolbert is a guy that I can push off the roster.
Whoa.
I've been saying
they're not gonna feel like that though. They're not gonna feel like that.
They probably not, but I just think that give me a guy who's a wide receiver, and the things that Jalen Tolbert do, you can let Deuce do. As far as the returns, I mean, Deuce probably has better vision. At least I would give him the opportunity in preseason and try to find out if he can be Ryan returner. Though with the rule change, like you said, it's a different thing. I'll give Ryan a crack at it. Once again, the rule change that may make them more valuable, but I don't know. I would give Deuce that opportunity. Then you'll be able to have a role, and then you can go short at wide receiver and go long at tight end. I would try to keep 4 tight ends, but it's so early. It's so early right now. We have to see everything what everyone is doing because we got Jake, we got we got Luke. Yeah, they're not gonna.
Hey, Jay, my guy Jay Money brought up a money name for us, Turpin. I think Turpin.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean Jalen Tolbert. I mean Turpin.
You meant Turpin.
I want to push off the roster.
No, but I stand by it. And my guy Action Jackson in the comments is like, he doesn't think that Brooks is better than Tolbert. I think he's better than him. I think last camp,
he's better.
Yeah, last camp. Honestly, he probably if Tolbert wasn't a 3rd round pick, let's say like Tolbert was a 6th round pick, and it was between them two, he was gonna push Tolbert off that roster, bro. Off of last camp.
I can't go that far. I say he'll put Turpin off the roster. But I wouldn't say Tolbert. I think
Tolbert had a good camp too, though. He had a good camp too. They both,
yeah. I've seen enough of him during a regular season. For me, I like bigger wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't think we played Jalen Brooks. I don't think Brooks played enough, in my opinion.
Nah, but they got 2 other guys in front of them that they paid money. Cooks, who I think is a 3, and Turpin, who I think is a gimmick player.
But the one thing I'll say about Turpin, and we saw it in the 49ers game, I just don't think that when we play like teams that like to play a lot of man and stuff like that, we made them pay with a corner route early on in a touchdown. And then he can run the ball. You can hand him the ball. You can do motions with him and stuff like that.
He also running in opposing defenders in the open field. I'm not trying to smash because he's an NFL level player. I'm just not that big of a fan of him as a lot of other people are. I think he has bad vision, and I think he's a poor route runner. His route tree is like so limited to me. And he also tips off everything. When he's in there, you're doing gimmicks. He can't block. He don't have great vision in the open field. But I want to give him respect because he's an NFL player. But I can move on from him. I would rather have Brooks and Jalen Tolbert.
That's a tough sell to get him off the roster though, because he did it. Like, I mean, he's one of the best returners in the league, and that's what they'll think. I'm just trying to think.
No. I'm not disagreeing with what they think. I mean, right now I'm just expressing my own thoughts.
I'm with you. I could have pushed him off the roster last year at camp. Hold on.
If you're talking about what I think they're going to do, I think he's on the roster. What I would do, I would push him off the roster.
Yeah, I'm about to say it don't matter what we think, because look, I wanted to trade Dan Benson. I wanted to trade Benson bad. I was pounding the table, but I couldn't be mad. Look, the first 4 picks, I couldn't be mad at him. Maybe I would have picked Benson over
the thing is, I think
but
there's some linebackers I think you can get late. That's just me. I think you can get off-ball linebackers who get you 100 tackles late. I just think the big thing is, especially with them indicating us, we're rebuilding the offensive line. We're going to run the football. Why not get one of the better running back prospects there? He was there in the 3rd round. He was just sitting there, and I was just like, "Are y'all gonna?"
Yeah, I just would have gone, and I just would have gave up one of the picks from last year and just came up and got one of them backs, bro. And
because your guy was still there. Who's the kid that you like? I think the kid from Tennessee.
Jalen Wright was still there, man.
Yeah.
Corn. But it broke my heart when Corn went to the damn Rams. Hey, look, people are gonna say form. This he's little man. You watch what the Rams do with him. Look, that's the one
well,
thing.
here's the thing. He may be a little undersized, but it seems like right now they're just about maybe just this year. I get him. I think he's better. He's better than any running back we don't have on the roster. I mean,
Yeah,
I just it was just a little surprising, but I'm gonna wait. Who knows? The Jets. I think they got like 8 running backs.
yeah. They got
There's a lot of teams. I think
Israel Banaconda. You know, that's a hot name out there. A lot
Miami
of people have been
has, I
talking
think,
about.
5. So let's wait. Let's see what happens. They may end up still getting somebody. But
Yeah.
if this is the running back room right now, I mean, maybe they're listening to us and they'll be mad and they'll go out and prove who they are.
Well, I don't have a problem with the running back room right now. The reason I don't have a problem with the running back room right now is because they have veteran league. They have guys that have been in the league who understand like pass protections and stuff. Because with 2 rookies, more than likely looking to start on the offensive line, you're gonna have to get some guys that can step in there and make a block or 2. We know Zeke can do that. Rico has shown us that he can do that. And then in the little bit of tape that I've watched of Royce Freeman, he showed that he can stick his nose in there as well. So I think that it helps you there having, you know, veteran guys that understand that. So I understand what their thinking is with that, but in the same token, you need some juice. Do I think we have any juice in that backfield?
And that's
Probably, if Rico is your juice guy, that's a
yeah,
juiceless backfield.
yeah, and that's the thing. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is that if you look at the way college football is, it's so sophisticated with the passing game. A lot of college backs are already ready for that. Like they come in and they're ready to do pass protection. We just don't have no juice. I mean, we'll see. I'm not concerned right now because it's May. I'll tell you my thoughts in August.
Yeah, I'm with you
It's
on
early.
that.
Yeah, I always try to be optimistic. It's early. Let's just see how it play out. We have no idea how it's going to play out. But I do think they had a very good draft. It may not have been sexy, but the rebuilding the offensive line, that was impressive to me. I was very surprised at that.
Yeah, and you were talking about rebuilding the offensive line for a while, so they did you a solid, John.
Yes,
They
they
did you a
did. They
solid.
went out and got some nasty guys.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the schedule release, man. Did you get an opportunity to watch the actual Cowboy schedule release, that vanilla ass schedule release thing that they did? Did you get a chance to see
No,
it?
I didn't look at that. I was looking at the reactions of people on the X app about how we're going to be 8-9, and people assuming it's going to be doomsday. We play it like we play the 49ers every year. Yeah,
That's because we both keep winning our division. So
yeah,
that's
that's
what happens. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like when you keep winning your division and there are other people that win their division constantly, you're gonna keep seeing them. So yeah. So my guy Jay Money was asking the video. I was just talking about the Post Malone, Jerry Jones. At first, look, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not a slow guy, but it took me a while to understand, like, oh, okay, that's what they doing. They're just calling people and it's just standing still. I mean, I think the good thing that came out of that is that we saw Dak was part of the process, and that's a good sign to me. I think with negotiations and things of that nature, and him coming back and taking this year serious. I
Oh,
think,
you think he's gone though, right?
yeah, after this year, I think he's gone. Yeah, I do.
I get the impression that he's gone. Demarcus Lawrence is gone. Zach Martin is gone.
Zach Martin is gone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that.
I get that impression.
I get that impression, win or lose, too. You know what I'm saying? Because
When you say win or lose, win what?
win the Super Bowl. Win the Super
If they,
Bowl.
I'm gonna say this: if they win a Super Bowl, it may be different. Not for all of them.
Not for all. For 2 out of the 3. I think
one.
You think one will go?
No, I think 2 will go. One to stay. If they win a Super Bowl,
Dak has to stay.
But
you're gonna pay $70 million.
I mean, the problem I only have is with Dallas, but I have this problem with everything what they do, whether it's especially in the free agent market, is they like to win the deal and they wait, and people get ahead of them. And once people get ahead of them, the market is set. And
Yeah.
then now, I mean,
Yep.
Goff has been ahead of Prescott twice, where you had a chance to kind of get ahead of it. But now it's out there, and he signed $53 million. Will Prescott take less? I mean, he can. I mean, from a owner standpoint, you should say, yeah, you deserve less only because you haven't
From
accomplished
a
more.
CBA standpoint, the NFLPA is going to tell him not to know nothing less than that, or
I don't
you
know.
know,
It depends on what he thinks. I don't. It's hard to say. I always tell people there's two things to me. I think when players take less, one, you don't mess around with their first big money contract. Give them their money, give everything they want, and then usually they'll work with you.
yeah,
Second, the biggest thing I tell people when people always talk about, well, guys take less. People love to use Tom Brady, but it's like, the Patriots wasn't paying anybody else but him, and he was winning. He was winning often. So in his mind, he looked at it differently. Guys don't usually do it in the beginning and say, "Oh, okay, we may win. I'll give you a deal." I think he may take less, but his less may be 48 million a year. It may not be 55 million.
but
But I
Dallas,
don't know.
what a lot of people don't know is that Dallas is rolling in the money next year. Dallas got $100 million to spend at
Are
least
they?
right now.
I
They
mean,
said if the cap number doesn't change, they have $100 million next year.
well, not only that, you can always it's ways to manipulate the cap. There's voidable years you can add to any contract.
We don't never do that though. Dallas don't ever
No,
manipulate the cap.
they had voidable. They got voidable years on Prescott's
No,
contract
well,
right now.
yeah, true. They do that. I meant like move money that way specifically in order to bring in people. So with
Yeah,
$100 million,
they're not
I
in.
don't
Yeah,
I don't think they do that.
they're not into bringing people. I mean, they allow what happened to them in the past to just make them not want to bring anybody in. Like
Yeah,
that's their thing.
yep.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and and if you look at it, there are certain teams that did that. Like Philadelphia did it, didn't help them. Didn't help them this past year. That
yeah.
happened.
You gotta be careful about that going all in. I mean, sometimes it works, but it just depends. Look at San Francisco. All the guys they got on the team last year, everybody, they didn't win a damn thing. They got
Yeah,
there, but they didn't win anything.
yeah.
So
That's a good point. That's a
yeah,
good point.
we'll see how it play out. We'll see. I don't want to be negative, right? I don't want to say nothing where I think it's a
Yeah.
horrible
No, we
thing.
have to give our opinions, bro. And I just think that
Uh,
we gotta give
my
our opinions. You know?
my opinion of this. Okay, since you asked, I honestly do not believe the Dallas Cowboys will win a Super Bowl with Jerry Jones as the owner. I just don't believe it. Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't got no sounds over here. Sorry,
Yeah,
y'all. One of these days,
I don't believe it because of the way things are done in Dallas, um, and not just free agency. Just I know people hate this word culture, but culture is not just the team. Culture is the organization, and you see the way he runs things, and it's more about trends and likes than anything else. I mean, that's the
yeah.
thing. You got a coaching staff. You don't have a lame duck coach. You have a lame duck coaching staff. So you know
Okay.
what's going to happen next year. Everything that happens, they're going to ask everyone, do you think he got your job? Do you have that? Coach owner don't want to deal with that. Look at Pittsburgh. Tomlin had that same situation. That owner cut that out, gave him a 3-year deal. Boom. Yeah, I know people he's saying we need a real GM. Well, you're never going to get one when you got the owner.
Never.
He's never going to be willing to
I,
share or give that up. That's
our,
just
our only shot, and I'll keep throwing it out there just for the hell of it because I know he wants to be a GM, and you're looking at the trends of things right now. But if Troy Aikman can somehow, I don't think Troy Aikman and Jerry really like each other like that, to be honest with you. I think Troy is a legend and Troy can kind of come. He gave Troy that big ass jacket on Jimmy Knight. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah.
no. I think he likes Troy, and I think Troy likes Jerry, but I think Troy doesn't like the way he runs the football team
Troy
or
gonna
how he.
tell him.
I
And
mean,
Troy gonna tell him.
yeah, but he has actually somebody who's qualified to be his GM, and it's Will McClay. He's just never going to let him run things. Jerry is not like that. When Bill Parcells was here, he told Bill, he said, "You don't have final say in personnel decisions, but I'll give you whatever you want." So that shows you the ego part where he wants to be involved. It's like, okay, why don't you just let him get everything he wants? Just let him make the decisions. You know, why do you have to be
And
involved?
it handcuffs you when you have to do that too, because you can
Exactly.
only think, because if we look at it, let's be real. I know we want to rain on Dan Quinn's parade, and I know he's in Washington, so we want to make it seem like it was all his fault. But the man has made it clear that he wanted Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing with this one, D. This is a problem I have with that. This is just my own perspective of it. Let's look at Dan in two places. That's three places. Let's go in Atlanta. He had say. So you saw the personnel that was ran there.
Yeah.
He's a defensive guy. That's his thing. And his defense couldn't hold a 21-point lead. So then he goes to Seattle, and that's where he really makes his claim of fame. But that personnel, that's Pete Carell's team. So Pete is the one who built that team. So Dan comes here, and I told people this. I think I may have told you, I don't know. When he did it the safety, I was like, well, why are y'all surprised? He brought Neil here, and no one seemed to have a problem with it. It just didn't work. So a problem that Dallas has, you'll have scouts, you'll have a head coach, and you have a position coach. And a position coach will say something, and it can overrule whatever the head coach wants. I mean, I'm going to ask you this. If you were the head coach, I'm the defensive coordinator, and I'm rolling out safeties for my linebackers, you okay with that?
Hell no.
Exactly. So somebody is, because all you have to do is look at the history. There's always position coaches. We still don't know the whole thing with Taco.
But you know what, though? To your point, though, he might have said, "I'll give it a week. Let's see what happens." And then early on in the year, we were rolling. We were rolling.
Yeah, but anybody knows, like high school, that could work because everyone's pretty much the same size. At the end, when you start to get to college and the NFL, that's not going to work. A 205-pound linebacker is not going to work.
To my point, though, and I know people are killing me for this. He wanted Wagner. He wanted KJ Wright. Who knows who else he wanted that we don't know about to play linebacker?
But here's the thing. Who's to say that McCarthy didn't want better, younger linebackers in the draft? Like it's all when you look at the way things are done. And this is not about the coach. It's
more about being handcuffed because somebody didn't want Mozzie and somebody wanted Mozzie. And so you got stuck with Mozzie. But if you got to make it work.
Right, but if you have a GM, if you have one guy, I'm gonna ask you this: who's the football voice in Dallas?
The football voice,
the voice, the voice, because every organization has one guy, and that guy is the beginning and the end of football. In New England, it was Belichick. In Denver now, it's Sean Payton. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but who's the voice?
I think it's a half-ass Will McClay. In my opinion, I think
why do you say that?
Because I'll even look at the Mozzie pick, right? Like Will McClay's soliloquy, as we might say it, was the final straw that got us Mozzie. You get what I'm saying?
Maybe.
No, but what I'm saying is Will is the guy like, hey, we need to clean up a mess, so Will cleans it up. But they won't let Will be the guy.
But that's the draft guy. Like he talks in the draft. So after we over, we're not going to hear from Will until the draft again. I mean, who's the guy answering the questions week after week?
Jerry.
When the reporter's there.
Jerry.
Yeah. But then who the fans think sometimes we don't get free agents? So if we don't get a free agent sign, who do you think is the
Steven?
Right. So and then who calls the plays?
Too many Chiefs, bro. But
it's too many. So it's like when you have that many voices, it's dysfunctional because you really don't know who's making the decision. They have went on record and said they all vote. Vote. No one does that.
Yeah, you real. That's real. Like when Howie, look, and I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, right? I'm not saying like Howie, like they've gotten to Super Bowls though. They got into multiple Super Bowls. So I gotta listen to it a little bit. I'm talking about Howie Roseman.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that like it didn't work last year, but what I'm saying is I have to listen because he got to multiple Super Bowls, just like the Rams have gotten to multiple Super Bowls. And you just look at how they do things, and it's one voice.
It has to be.
It's
If you
one
look at it,
voice.
if you look at
Yeah.
any time of any team that is very successful, it's one voice. It's not multiple voices. You have an owner, the owner stays out the way. You have a GM, he's the guy that deals with his scouts. If you have your scouts working and then you have a position coach override your scout, and you have to look at like, okay, so you spent 2 weeks with this guy, and I've been looking at players for like the last 3 years, and you actually think you know more than I do? That's just ridiculous. So it's
Well, they
like if
gotta
you
pitch it to Jerry. It's not like Jerry really knows. That's what I've been.
and see
That's what
then
I've been
and
told.
then that's another thing. You gotta sit. That's like when you've had it. You'll be on the X app or whatever, and you're dealing with a casual person, and you're trying to explain to them something.
Oh,
That's,
like this clown Mark Smith, who said
yes,
it's a
it's a
clown
clown
show. Like
show.
this clown right here, who, yeah, I hope he sees it. I hope he's still here. I'm gonna call you a clown. Like this casual right here, this
Yeah.
casual dude.
So when you
Yeah,
have that type of stuff, you have to explain stuff, and so that's the thing that goes on. It's hard to find out. We're in the draft, and we got like 5 people at the table, and it's like so many people. It's just, I mean, I love the football team. I root for them. It's just the organization is very. I don't know if they can overcome this. I don't know if any coach can overcome this. It's just so dysfunctional. Like you said, I don't know who. I don't know if Mozzie was Dan's pick. I don't know if that's Will's pick. I don't know if it was McCarthy's pick. I have no idea.
yeah.
I have no idea. And then if you did pick him, you don't even play him. I mean,
It never seems like anybody when it doesn't work that anybody wants to own up to that was
no.
my pick.
And the thing,
No, it's always that's Dan's guy, but Dan didn't really want him. So like what? Huh? Like
it's kind of like this. And I'm not saying that if the guy doesn't perform through camp, you just kind of, but it's like, look, you went to bat for this dude. It's kind of like, remember we got Tristan when we could have had a safety there? Yeah, that was Rod's guy. Rod put him in a doghouse, and that was just it. And it was just like, okay, we just wasted a second-round pick.
wasted a second round pick that was really our first round pick. But
right,
I mean,
the first pick in the draft, the second round. Then you go out, you move up, you get Nashawn Wright. He hasn't barely played. You used a pick for this year, last year, to get Eric Scott. He didn't play last year. Calvin Joseph. He gets jettisoned after he had one bad game. It's just
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there because we'll say like, well, Will McClay brought in Deron Bland, so we know how to draft, and I'm just like, we miss on a lot too, y'all. Like, and I know it's a crapshoot, but I'm just saying like we miss on premium, and sometimes we just luck up on some of these late guys. Like, I would love to like luck up on some of these premium guys so they could become.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But you know what? What would be better if you stop drafting projects? I mean, you may find a guy that may not have a great high ceiling, but just go get a really good football player.
I think that's what they did this year, and that's why I got to give them kudos. I have to give them kudos.
I think the guys they got now, they can play. Some of the guys, Calvin Joseph had character issues. Nashawn Wright was raw. And I also think Nashawn is better in a different scheme, which is what we was running. So it's like, why? Like what you said, all he was like, coaching. Why would you get a guy and you don't even fit the scheme to fit the traits that he brings to your football team? It's just, and then even with Sam Williams, I understand he's making mistakes, but 2 years. Last year, Fiocco, he doesn't play none. So it's like we wasted the entire year with a dude that we picked in the 4th round. It's just puzzling. It's puzzling.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's the thing that gets me. But hopefully it'll turn. But this draft, I think they got guys who can actually come in and play. And I think every guy they drafted can contribute. Now, whether or not they're going to have an opportunity, because there are some good football players on the team, we'll see. I just want to see them dudes just kind of battle it out, and just whoever's the best player is the best player.
Yeah, and we still have a really good roster. We do. I mean, do I want some more playmakers? Yeah, I do. But also, I understand what they're trying to do. They're tired of getting bitch slapped. Is what they're tired of. They're tired of getting bitch slapped. And at that point, when you put it that way, all right, man, cool. Like, go ahead, take some karate class, take some MMA classes, and you know what I'm saying, go train and put some weight on, because that's what they did with this draft. So I got to give them their kudos. And let's get to this. Let's get to this schedule.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, did you get a chance to really look at it? Because like, I'm looking at it right now for
Yeah,
the
I looked
first
at it.
time, really. Okay, so what you think, man?
I think it's the thing I look at schedules is that every year they're going to be a little bit different. Teams that you think were really good, but if you have to go back off of what it is, it's a tough schedule. If this was last year, so Baltimore's going to be a tough game. I like the Browns game.
I think it's
Vikings,
spaced out. I think it's spaced out perfectly. As far as last year, we had like Murderers Row at one point. I kind of see this schedule being a little bit more spaced out based on what teams typically do. But Cleveland's going to be a tough game, I think, in week
oh,
one.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, when you going with the guy who I consider the best offensive player in the league, and Guyton's going to have to go up against him, he's getting thrown in the deep end early, and it's
Yeah.
at Cleveland.
And it's not just him, but they got the Joker over there, who I
Oh
wanted in
no,
the
I
second
know.
round. He was one. Look, I wanted Bolton, I wanted Joker, or I wanted Asante Samuel Jr. with
Oh,
that
you
pick.
mean when
Kelvin
who
Joseph
did you
draft.
who did you want in the first round that year?
We ended up getting I actually wanted Rashawn Slater. I wanted Rashawn Slater.
You was with me. That's who I wanted.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Michael Parsons and the
No,
Parsons.
I didn't think we were gonna get him. I thought Micah was gonna go, and then if we got him, I didn't think we was gonna use him right, and we almost didn't use him right. We tried to put him at backer off ball, and he was looking like I think Micah might be a bust had DeMarcus Lawrence if he didn't get hurt, and we see him rush the passer. I think he might be a bust.
Being as a middle linebacker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And the scheme and how Dan was running things, I think he would have been. Or he wouldn't be the all-pro player. He wouldn't be the all-pro player if we just played him at backer.
Do you think if Van Der Esch never got hurt and they both played together? Because I do think Van Der Esch is more cerebral. I don't necessarily think he's just physically gifted though.
If was a fifth, Van Der Esch wouldn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know. I'm just saying.
Like hurt and Van Der Esch, man, that's a synonym, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know what? Scratch that off the record because that was foolishness of me. Yeah, because he's only had one season where he's never gotten hurt. I believe that was his rookie year. I think. I think he played every game that year. But as you were saying with the schedule.
Yeah, for sure. I really like that. I feel like early on we'll be tested. I also think there's some chances that we can, reel some wins together and then get tested again. And like I think that it's way more spaced out this time. We get a bye and then we get San Francisco, which I like. And then you get
but when you look at it, you got the Lions and then you got San Fran. In between that. I don't think people should panic if the record isn't good by the first 6 weeks.
Yeah. Honestly, look, this is why I didn't take a look at the schedule like this, and this is why I didn't do a crazy release. And oh my god, because I'm not a Kool-Aid guy, bro. I'm not. I would be doing y'all a disservice if I was a Kool-Aid guy. If I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, it's because I believe. I believed last year. And yeah, we saw where that led me. These schedule releases and stuff don't matter in my opinion. They don't matter. I mean, look, we can say we're 12-5 until we're blue in the face, but we really know that what matters is January. We keep getting bounced in January. We have to.
So you're basically just saying let's get to the tournament.
I'm saying week by week, and then week by week, but at the same time, no high, not too high, not too low. Don't matter if we 13-4.
Absolutely, I agree.
14-3.
We've won a lot of. Yeah, we don't want a lot of football games. And the schedules, I take them year by year because every year is different. There have been times we became 12-5. People thought we wasn't going to be anything. Then,
yeah, he said, "Look, I thought it was corny too, bro." Look. Look before you get into that. What you about to say?
Go ahead.
You talked about culture. We're a corny ass culture, bro. Our culture is about as vanilla as the damn briars that's in my freezer right now. It's corny. Thanksgiving is corny as hell. It's always corny. We have, I'm saying, the most vanilla acts that come in there. They want to control everything. Tuck told me that at games, actually, I was there. thunderstruck. They can't listen to the music they want to listen to coming out. We got all these players. And I think Cam Newton said it the best. When you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you got to be the president of the United States. And that's how all these players are. So we're declaring our Tigers is what this culture is. And that's what that corny ass schedule release was, in my opinion. All they did was paint white ass Post Malone. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here we go. Poster child, white Post Malone, the rapper. Yeah, we love him. Let's put Post Malone next to us. Let's put Rowdy's damn bad luck ass behind me. We'll put Dak and we'll put Michael Irvin in, and yeah, we'll get everybody all riled up. Man, look, I don't give a damn about no Post Malone. I don't care. I do care that Dak is there. I don't care about Rowdy in the background and the cheerleaders. That damn bland ass release video.
But it's about the brand.
The brand is corny. The brand is corny. It's played, and we need to win. That's what we need. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. But man, when you got the number one franchise in sports, it's about the brand. Why else would you force a defensive end to wear number 94? That's just brand stuff. That's how the Joneses are.
It ain't for CD to wear 88. CD didn't want to wear 88.
He forcing. I mean, the player can make any number be whatever that number is. Just let them play. But it's about the brand. It's always about the brand, unfortunately. 88, brand. 94. Yeah, it's about branding. Let's win some football. But I agree with you. We'll get through the schedule. If there's no injuries, we'll get in the tournament. Let's get some January success, because we haven't had that. And I ain't talking about a wild card victory either. Let's get a deep playoff run.
Exactly. And when I look at these teams that are getting these deep playoff runs, their players are allowed to be themselves. The coaches are allowed to coach their football teams.
Yep.
And if you think that don't have nothing to do with physicality, you're mistaken.
Yep.
You're mistaken if you don't think that has everything.
When you're be able to be locked in, be comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want to have to be, undermined. I don't think Jerry has empowered a head coach. The last head coach that was truly empowered was Jimmy. And that was only because Jerry was trying to pay off the loan for the team. He wasn't around. Since he's been around, he's undermined every head coach.
Yeah.
Head coach. And they got enough to think about just coaching and the stuff you have to deal with. But unfortunately, that's the hard thing. Yeah. People can say whatever they want to, but to me, that type of thing affects the culture. You want to just be locked in on football and winning football games. You don't want to be asked tons of questions or be like a freaking monkey at the zoo and all of that stuff. Let's just lock in.
Hey, you sound like Schultz. You sound like D-Law.
Yeah, it's just
they all said the same thing. And
it's just, to me, that's just completely distracting. That's like right now, you doing your thing. You out there at the studio or whatever. I don't know your home situation. So what I'm about to say, everybody don't take too much. But let's just say his significant other is just bringing people through. Or I mean, it's on a podcast.
It happens to people a lot, but yeah.
And it's a distraction. These guys should be able to be locked in. If anybody's ever been to Texas Stadium, you see the way it's great, it's beautiful, but it's an amusement park. It's why my little brother Reese said it's Circus Olay Joneses. It's like it's a clown show, unfortunately. We got a good football team, but we have a guy that doesn't understand things. And I know he's not the GM, but he's the GM in name. And like you say, everything got to be ran past him. And it's just exhausting, man. It has to be exhausting.
Our multi-billion-dollar franchise like it's a mom and pop pizza shop, bro.
Yep. And here's the thing. You literally have every advantage outside of football. He has because coaches don't have any type of salary cap. He can afford the best coaches. The problem is
we got the cheapest coach.
Yeah, he won't share the spotlight. There's no way he'd be willing to do that, to allow the coach to have the power. You saw that during the draft. When they would talk to Will and McCarthy, you could just see Jerry tapping his fingers, just ready to talk.
Yeah, hand me the phone.
Yeah, he's talking about Brooks. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if Brooks was your target, everybody knows now. It's like, Bro, who does? He's holding up the draft boards, and I'll be like,
Oh man, Tyler Guyton had me rolling. If y'all ever go back and watch his phone call, he thought Jerry was a coach. Did you peep that?
yeah,
He
I
thought he was
peeped it.
a coach.
I peeped it. I peeped
Yeah,
it. I
he
was
didn't
just
know that was the owner. He said,
because that's the thing. The owners don't call.
"Yeah,
No other team does this but our team. The owners don't call. It's always the coach. Yeah, so he's sitting there. I'm like, I was telling,
he was like, thank you. He was like, thank you, coach." I was like,
because that's who calls. It's the
yeah,
coach that calls. It's not but Jerry has to be the first one on the line. And it's just, man, I get it. He's a self-made billionaire. I get all of that. He doesn't know anything about football. He thinks he's Al Davis, and he's not. It's just, man.
we're about to go back and watch that. He was like, thank you, coach.
Oh, I saw it. I was crying. Where I was talking to my little brother. I said, see what proud we are. I said, this dude think he talking to the coach because owners don't call draft picks. They meet them dudes maybe later when they come in and sign. And if that, that's why you hire your GM. You let those guys do all of that.
Absolutely. So yeah, bro. There's one thing that I wanted to talk about. The trailer to NCAA football. I gotta make it a scroll. That came out. So I'm gonna play this in the background as we're talking. So
Oh wow.
yeah, man. Look at these
now
graphics.
you gonna
Yeah,
get
I'm about
me
to
back
get
in
you
the
down the
video.
rabbit hole,
Oh my
baby.
Lord.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
The
this
graphics
is
to this thing,
nice.
EA is going to do their thing, bro.
You know what, man? And I grew up playing Atari and Sega.
Yeah.
I had no Sega Genesis. And you see, oh, if they had video games like this when I was like a kid, I would never come out the house, like ever.
Yeah. Oh, Madman
This
said
is lit.
he pre-ordered it today. Look, my son been hit me up. He hit me up as soon as he got out of school. Did you pre-order it yet? I'm like, do I get something for pre-ordering it? Like maybe y'all know something that I don't know.
The only thing you do with pre-ordering stuff is that sometimes you may get it a little faster. You may get it like 4 days before it's actually official release. Because I've
Yeah,
pre-ordered stuff, not video games, but other stuff, and I get it much quicker sometimes. Oh, this is
bro.
nasty.
Yeah, bro. I can't wait. And then they're gonna have their names and their like, bro, I'm playing with Colorado. I'm building Colorado, bro.
I can find. You know what? You ain't gonna get me into this. No, you ain't gonna do
I'm
this to
gonna
me.
get you into this game, bro.
This
Look,
is nice.
and check this out though. It got cross platforms. So you can play on PS5, Xbox, probably Nintendo Switch, PC, cross player platforms this year, bro. Oh man,
EA Sports is just printing money. How much does this game retail for?
it's probably gonna be. I think probably like the 8. I think games are normally like 70, something like that.
This would be worth it though. Look at this. I can
I
finally
know.
get the Hurricanes a national championship.
Yeah, I know.
Miami hasn't had one. The U hasn't had one in quite some time. Oh, this is that.
Yeah.
I may be going back down to video game.
Yeah. Look, clap it up, everybody. We got John.
Yeah.
Y'all heard him. Look, y'all heard him before, but I had to show. Yeah. And the thing is, it's been gone since I can't remember when I last. Look, the last NCAA, I worked in Baltimore. So me and my wife just got married, and we were living with my mother-in-law at the time while we were looking for a place. Man, I would come home. I knew my mother-in-law was just going nuts because I'm in the game. I'm just in the room playing NCAA the entire time. Look, people can act like they don't struggle. People struggle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It did exactly. But yeah, every day I would come home from work, kick my shoes off. I'm in the joint playing. I think Denard Robinson was the quarterback at Michigan State at the time. You remember Denard Robinson?
Yeah, I remember Denard Robinson.
Yeah. I think he was on the cover. Yeah, man. Look, this right here, man. Look, I'm gonna build my Howard Bison up. Like my Howard
This
Bison is
is
gonna be national champion.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I
And you
can't
know
wait.
it's crazy because I didn't say somebody bought me my nephew bought me a PlayStation 5. It's just sitting there in the background. I haven't played because video games are addictive, man. At least for me.
Yeah.
I'll play them joints and just be locked in, but that's
Yeah,
like
so 2014. 2014 was the last one. So yeah, that's actually when I got married. So yep, 20 like right before that came out that
congratulations.
summer. Yep. So yeah, we
Oh,
rolling
this
up.
is a sign there for you.
Yeah. Oh,
This
oh
is
heck
yeah,
yeah.
this
10-year
is
anniversary coming up. Oh yeah,
10-year
bro. Yeah.
anniversary for you with your wife and the game.
Oh yeah. Look, so Madman did
Outstanding.
us a
Oh, thank
favor.
you, man. I appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to look into that. When I get off this joint talking to you, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
I may have to put the pre-order there because that looked nice. I'm not gonna lie. That was impressive. That was an impressive trailer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then if you go watch the trailer where they you actually hear the sounds and stuff like that, because I took the sounds off because obviously, I'm not trying to copyright it out here or anything like that.
Stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
it's a entire thing down there or muted.
yeah, for sure. They got it out there somewhere, guys. So go check it out if you haven't seen
nice.
it without all that stuff out there. But so we're gonna end this thing with our favorite thing to talk about, brother. We can go another 2 hours talking about this right here, but we're not gonna do that to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Talking about the boxing, the big upcoming
Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight tomorrow. How do you feel about it?
3 years ago, I favored Fury heavily. I thought he was the best heavyweight. I thought he would dirty box Usyk. After seeing him struggle against a novice MMA fighter, and also I think the fight between him and Wilder, when I watched that fight or the series of fights, I used to think Wilder suffered a lot of damage, which I think he did. But I'm wondering if Fury took a lot out of himself as well. I was at 2 of the fights, and some of the shots that he was taking a a lot of hard shots. So I sometimes wonder about that. And there's a parallel, even though I think maybe overall he's a little bit better than Errol Spence in a sense, but they have similarities. Blowed up weight, don't have a Spartan type background. And so I wonder if all of that stuff is going to catch up to Tyson. I mean, he's in his late 30s. I know he's in great shape. He looks in great shape. But then Usyk, I mean, he got a clutch gene. I think he's an outstanding boxer. But also I saw him get touched up by Anthony Joshua, who is kind of robotic. I don't think Usyk is super slick as a lot of people think he is. So 2 weeks ago, I leaned towards Usyk. And now coming up for this, I think it's going to be a draw. I have a feeling it's just something that's telling me it's going to be a drawish top fight, because Tyson's best performances are against fighters who are like either his size or they're bigger heavyweights. People forget he struggled against Steve Cunningham, and this was a younger Tyson Fury that was a little bit more nimble. He also kind of struggled against Ota, who is another smaller kind of